Alrighty. It's been a while. We had a lot to do and a lot to talk about. My guild. Kind of nuts. I wonder how many people are actually active. So, Ralski, Gromzek, Corned Beef have all logged in today. Looks like Kreelin and Caldroga, which is El Chupa, was on yesterday. Dead Zerg logged in 3 days ago. So, not horrible considering. And, you know, everyone else is in like February, which is understandable. I'm right there with them, where I haven't logged in forever. But hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna go ping Broken, since I know he wants to ask me things. So let me get that going. Okay, letting a couple people know. Pretty sure my stream's working. I guess I should double check that, you know what I mean? Let's see. I should actually be using my dashboard, but that's alright. It says I'm live. Yep. Hey, Broken. Hope you're doing well. I am streaming. Surprise, surprise. And I need water. Whoops. Oh well. My mic sounds cleaner. Well, that's good. I did a little bit of filtering just to make me sound, you know, deep and awesome. And I've also slept recently, so my vocal cords are, you know, my vocal cords are a little loose, so my voice will go up over time. But I apologize if I cough. I've also tweaked my setup a little bit where I now have 2 monitors, which I've not used 2 monitors in forever because my desk got changed up. So I can preview chat a little easier. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Broken. Like I said, I got a little bit of a bird flu kind of thing going on. Not fully sure what it is, but yeah, I got this dry cough is about all. So apologies if I spike every time I do that. I should have my attack on where it won't go above a certain level, but you never know. Anyways, I'm surprised. Dougal is usually first and is always lingering, but maybe I timed it bad. It's maybe too late in the night. So I don't see a first message. But also I haven't streamed in forever, so anyways. Yeah. Okay, so Broken, since you're here, I guess you get preferential treatment on what I work on. What I resolved with my stream last was, you know, I basically have like 3 or 4 projects that I would like to work on. Specifically, I'm taking out all these old notes because, you know, we have UI fixes, you know, specifically gear core and possibly Shin Sparks. I know there's been a request for like multi-pet support on the UI because apparently that was in somewhere. Other miscellaneous stuff, you know what it is. Another thing was I need to get Crit Sprinkler usable. I have so many changes locally that just never have been added. And also my Shin Sparks has had some notes because that lets you, you know, do timing for buffs. Wow. Hey, Nerd Navigator, thank you for the raid. You are appreciated. Crit Sprinkler is our favorite thing on Twitch EQ. Hilarious.
Thanks for the follow, Venomize32.
You guys are going nuts. Well, there's a shout out. Let's see what video it plays. I think my shout out does that. It's been a while since I've actually rated or streamed. Oh yeah, you're the coder. I see how it is. But again, thank you for the raid, dude. Yeah, it didn't play my cool thingy. I wonder if I broke it. Or maybe it's exclamation mark SO. I think it might be exclamation mark SO. There it is. Do you have no clips? It just says check out Nerve Navigator. XML master, Zachary. You're funny. Yeah, that was another project of mine, was the Shinova, which is the XML to NV format, you know, UI simplifier. I did get some decent milestones with it, but it definitely has some significant work on it for that to become usable. My eyes are transitioning to classic textures, yeah. Well, you know, I got that blueberry butt going on, which is always good times. So, yeah, before the raid, we were discussing what should I actually work on. I'm not very motivated to actually play THJ. I mean, I can go run around and sort of test, but I really want to just take one of my projects and get it, you know, at a usable milestone. So that's what I was just talking with Broken about. And so it sounds like, is Crit Sprinkler still being leveraged by other Twitch streamers? Is it still the level of, because I don't know if you guys have seen what Crit Sprinkler latest looks like. I've essentially broken yet also improved it, I guess you could say. I'm not running it right now. That might help. Let me go grab that. It's been so long. All right, so Crit Sprinkler. You can see these windows popping up, I think. Do you see these windows? There they are. And if we, you know, start a rune, you can see it on the left, the little number floating. I like how the checkout nav navigator hasn't gone away because you had no clip. Anyways, the new Crit Sprinkler isn't as like fancy, but it's more informative.
Thanks for the follow, AZYTKK_.
Yeah, thank you for the follow, AZY. I have no idea how much I'm going to stream lately, but I know my focus is to get these tooling out. So, am I talking about my UI is what Rect Expert? Yes. I don't know if you've seen my UI, the gear score one.
Thanks for the follow, AXZ.
I know Broken has some improvements he'd love for it. Which, by the way, Broken, what is your biggest improvement want? Is it just this player window and getting the EXP windows like I talked about a long time ago? Is that like what you're feature requesting? I mean, I have so many like little projects that are honestly so close to done. It was a bit of a disappointment when I did leave to South Africa and basically went cold turkey off because like I know another big feature is Shin Spark, which I don't have running. Let me run that. Shin Spark has a feature that You can see it on the top. Let's go zone somewhere so it fixes. Anyways, it has a buff tracker, and when you play warrior and beast lord, knowing the tick rate of your buffs is like pivotal to life, and I have that intel, so I could easily create just like a simple indicator that tells you your tick rate, and that'll make timing your buffs. And sorry, I have a cough. You know, tracking your buffs that much easier. I don't know. Let's go do fear, or actually hate. Hate would be easier. Oh yeah, you have to click the freaking map. I feel like a noob. So trade skill windows don't have close buttons. Oh, there's a legit bug with my my bags now. I didn't know that. I definitely got to fix that one. So, but you can see on the top, the target window, that's Sin Spark, and you can see she's casting Din's Drizzing, Drought, and you can see my spell casting. It's basically Elf UI if you're familiar with that, and yeah, I'm just. It tells you the number of X targets and their total health percent, which is nice. And I haven't used this in forever. I also have no AEs loaded, so I'm just doing this cold turkey. I'm pretty sure I still have 750 spell damage. I need to tweak my gear a bit to make it so that I'm not... I'm more tanky. Like, get some more warrior gear. I noticed my intellect dogs, there's one that was on for sale for like $1 million. Like, what? Because I was picking them up for like 100k a piece, and I have them in quite a few slots, especially the, like here, I even have double ints. I got a 6 in here. I know Saruzog has, what is the name of the Saruzog? Just curious. Got to make it back being Canadian. You still testing contributing chats to contribute? Are you still in? Yes, I am in the chat. Yeah. Shard of Truth. I haven't even looked at it, honestly. I played for like a day. Shard, is it something that is on the market? Do people not sell it? Or is it just Fragment of Truth? Is this maybe it? Okay, so this goes in primary. But it doesn't give really anything, because fire damage is only for melee, right? Is this the only variant of it? No, there's a bunch of them. Combat efficiency. And then that's giving healing strike. Is there one that gives like necro or wizard useful things? Yeah, I didn't even realize there was multiples of it. That's obviously a rogue one. This one, magical damage, I think that's only melee, right? And this literally says, this spell is ineffective and can no longer function. What? Runic. Let me guess, it gives a rune. Okay. And Shisharbane. And this is Sarubane. You would not believe the shit you have missed. I don't know. It's kind of good to hear, though, that they're like, renovating it, but also I'm not like super of your companion's direct damage spells. Increase your companion's attack speed. What? This doesn't even make sense to me. Why would you... Is this truly 0%, or is this just useless intel? It's a Bard Epic proc. Yeah. You know, which is a little sad. Let's add in a bunch of custom stuff, and let's not fix MQ to let you actually see the data. It's not that hard for like anybody to go in and touch the MQ spell identifier and improve it so that future spells actually read properly. But whatever. I'm going to go ahead and load in my AEs. Okay, so I think what we're going to go ahead and do... I'm still kind of debating what the heck I'm doing here. I guess I'll fix the trade skill thing. That sounds pretty debilitating. I know I have a ton of things to work on, but let's go ahead and hit up Bazaar. Or I guess if I go to like Nariak, I'm more comfy there. Bard Epic Simp of Battle. Just click a forge or something. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna go do. Because I know there's one right over here. My mouse is weird. Like, it's a little too sensitive. I have to tweak that. Alright. Here's one. So you're saying, I'm assuming it's in the experiment window, right? I mean, I see combine fine. And this looks normal. Are you running the latest of Gear Core? Oh, did they break something on test? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So, regarding things for me to work on, I'll go ahead and add the EXP system on here real quick. That should be very easy. And yes, Nerd Navigator, you guys are free to ask anything you like. I am kind of here for you guys. I'm not really going to play THJ. I don't really want to. I mainly just want to get these things that I'm working on, you know, released to some capacity. So, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and switch the screen so that you guys can kind of watch me. So Gear Core, I'm going to go ahead and turn off Shin Spark for now. We're going to go ahead and add your player EXP window. I might just make it default. At one point I was going to like fork it. You can see it here. But yeah, I never even worked on this. You can tell these codes are the exact same. Is there any way you can think of where it could read multiple logs so that changing characters doesn't mean you have to alt-tab and change in the program? That's totally possible, nerd. The way Crit Sprinkler works, it wouldn't be that hard even. Here's what I'm going to do. So in issues, I'm going to add a new issue. And we're going to just say Nerd Navigator request multi-log polling support. When switching between players, it's annoying to have to swap log file inside the program. Add multi-polling of log support. The only downside to what you're describing, nerd, minus like UIX concerns, you know, just because like right now it's a very simple load, save, quit. Dude.
KeeperX just subscribed. Nerd_navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to KeeperX.
Okay.
Teletron12 just subscribed.
You guys are funny.
Underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Teletron12. Valdstein underscore just
I might need to
subscribed.
fix my
Underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Valdstein underscore.
my announcer, because now I'm going to be fighting it.
Fire97
But
underscore just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1
anyways,
sub to Fire97 underscore.
This is on my to-do now. You didn't need to tier 1 sub. It is appreciated though, dude. Thanks.
Ecturf just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Ecturf.
Yes, nerd slayer of ads.
Selenia just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator
yeah, it's appreciated.
A tier 1 sub to Selenia. Ra RPG just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Ra RPG. Perticus just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Perticus.
So
Hostel just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Gore STL. MRHOLMS just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Mr. Holmes. Prime Live just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Prime Live. 100 Cardero just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to 100 Cardero. Mad Villainy just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Mad Villainy. ACUASS just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to ACUASS. Prinny Dadude just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Prinny Dadude. Moist Panda 1 just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to Moist Panda 1. AXZ underscore just subscribed. Nerd underscore Navigator gifted a tier 1 sub to AXZ underscore.
So while we're waiting on all this,
Funky
I definitely need to fix this. In fact, I can mute it while we're waiting.
Gifted a tier 1 sub to Funky underscore Chicken.
There. I imagine that was getting annoying. You can still kind of hear it through my speakers, I think. There we go. And of course, I think it's done, but also we have an issue with my window showing the shout out still. Obviously, I haven't streamed in a while. I think if I turn off alerts, that fixes it, but I'd rather go into alerts and essentially fix the shout out there. I can just make that hidden for now. That works. Anyways, once again, that Nerd Navigator, not required, but absolutely appreciated. And yeah, so back to the EXP window. This shouldn't be taking me very long. What I just did is I grabbed another UI that has the EXP window. Arguably, do you guys know of one that has it built in? Like, does the default one have it? I guess I can just switch to it. And it's easier to copy paste, you know what I mean? Yeah, it does not. Does the THJ Bigsy do? Okay, that does. So THJ Bigsy can be an alternative. Okay. By the way, have you guys ever seen the latest Crit Sprinkler cell? It's always pretty amusing when you, you know, the sound and then this, where the money is dropping down. Especially like when I hit sell all. I can probably sell everything. I don't think there's going to be anything too critical. How satisfying, right? And I got a hype chest. Let's see what it has in it. A cat scary emote. Kind of scary. Yeah, nerd. I don't think... Did I ever release this? It does have a limit. It's like 100,000 particles. But I still sell your stuff to tons of people. Mulligan hasn't been around much lately. He's disappeared about a week ago. Xiao Xiao is still being around. Yeah, Mulligan gave me heads up when I was in South Africa of he is, he works for that bar pub. I think he's the owner. And they get super busy in March. So like it was kind of expected for them to have a super busy time. And yeah. So and everyone is pretty much gone. Yeah, it's kind of normal, especially when you have like a casual server where it's sort of hit or miss and you have a bad expansion. I imagine there'll be a huge influx in pop. But no worries. You got your dedicated folks like you. Okay, so we know that Big Z has what I'm looking for. So what we're going to do is drag that in here and just essentially be inspired by their player window, because it should just have, yeah, these two. All we care about is, excuse me, the EXP percent. So, okay, we're going to get this going real fast and then we can work on other stuff. All right, so we're going to add a piece called PW Player Experience. And do you want the alt advancement gauge on there too, broken, so that you can like hot swap? I don't think that's really needed. Let's see how this feels though, and then we can add more pieces accordingly. Considering it's what you would use at level 60 and there's over... Yeah, that reminds me. Now there's over 4,200 AAs. That is something I actually need to do, is gain a few more AAs. But it's only like mystical attuning, right? I don't even remember. It looks like subtlety, mystical attuning. It's just mystical attuning. Shield specialist. I don't see it. I don't think they've increased it since I've played, because I'm still 5 out of 5. I thought they just introduced it to Paladin and fucked Warriors is all. I'm pretty sure that was the last I heard. You may have automatically gotten the boost. Or it's possible I just bought it. Yeah. Anyways, cool. Let's just toss it in here. Boop. The gauge. And there's an AA gauge as well. PWAA experience percent. Is that what I put in here? Yeah. Which is just a label. I want the gauge. Where's the gauge? I think the EXP gauge is a universal based on what one you're running. Let's test it. We're just going to load skin with that on. So this one, yeah, there's the button. Okay, so it reloaded. I don't see any difference. What did I mess up? Oh, I don't have AA experience, so it's probably going to error on that. So let's turn that off real quick. Still nothing. Another file I want to watch is the log errors, UI errors. Probably just do it by date modified and go to the top. There it is. It's like, I've worked on UIs before. So we get a bunch of fallback warnings, but this should be loading. Oh, I'm editing the wrong file. That helps. Let's go to player window. Paste, and just paste this over it. And now we can actually get a result. Okay, we got an error. What is the error? XML reference error. PWEXP% declared. Oh, because it's EXP gauge. Fine. Let's see if that makes it happy. Nope. What's the next error? Screen piece is referenced but not declared. It's declared right here. I'm missing something obvious. This should be pretty straightforward, but apparently I'm having an issue somewhere. Yeah, I mean, there's literally two elements. The screen ID is called EXP gauge. Is that maybe something special that he created? I don't think so. Because, you know, inventory has it as well. This is normally called IW for the inventory window, right? EXP gauge. IW is a gauge item. Which is a piece in the page, inventory page. And that's what ultimately causes this. So all I'm doing is trying to transfer that over into the player window by creating a player window EXP gauge. I guess it's possible my declaration location's a problem, but that doesn't sound right. Interesting. What am I messing up? So what other things did Warrior get while I'm working on this? We're still getting an error. Let's split this vertically and just kind of do that. So it says it's never declared, but it's declared right here. Let's take the IW version and replace it here and rename it to PW. And let's see if that fixes it. Okay. XML reference area, screen piece 14, EXP gauge reference, but never declared. What the fuck am I missing? Am I missing like there's a voice volume, right? And that's a screen ID, but that's also a piece, right? But EXP gauge has a declaration, piece, and a gauge item. This is in the definition XML. Why am I having issues putting this back in? Very interesting. Why is this being problematic? Is it spelling? No. Yeah, the battle leap thing I've had already primed. I knew that one. Where is my Shift F? Man, it's been a while since I've set up my keys. But I basically have it where whenever I use Rage, I also use Warrior's Battle Leap, which causes warping, which I hate. Like, they actually need to fucking fix that. Maybe they did since I played. Fell Strike, yeah. Those all happened at Luckland release, so I'm familiar with those, nerd. I mean, I've only been gone for like 2 or 3 weeks. So it's not like I've been super long. From the looks of it, I don't think there's been any new AA since I last played. There's just mystical attuning and subtlety I'll never pump. And that's it. Yeah. So in other words, it's just the, 11. So 1100 AAs, which puts me at like, what, 4700 AAs. But it's just more buff slots, which I don't really fill anyways. So I'm not in a rush to get more buff slots. It's just something to work on. And yeah, which is all good. Okay, so why are we having issues? This is very interesting. Like, this should be very easy. Let's take out the piece just to test. See if we can get it to restore back to normal without a screen reference. Yep. And then when we add the screen reference, exp gauge, let's try something like fatigue label. And let's move PWE as one of these. Just to double the fatigue level and see if this loads. So the moment, I think this name is bad. Because notice, the moment I change this name, What? Yeah, it's that name. Okay. So this is the original. We're going to call this exp gauger. Let's see if this like magically works. I feel like this word is like reserved somewhere else, and that's what's causing these headaches. No. exp gauger is referenced but never used. It's right here. Why is this item? Is it the screen ID? But I thought the screen ID is required. Yeah, like see fatigue level label. EQ type is also important. Okay, let's call it PW what? What did Valentine's introduce, by the way? Was there anything interesting or noteworthy? Or like new itemization or anything? So look, when I did PW what, it did load. And now we're getting errors about hit points in the player window and percent labels breaking, which is interesting. But we do have PW what working. So let's try moving its position a little bit. So like Y position, let's say like 100. Let's see if we can get it to come up. An event with EXP increase ring. Yeah, so there's your EXP percent right there. Even though this one seems to be out of kilter. New food box that gives buffs, new XP buffs, new glamours, necklace that increases XP but didn't work for 80% of the event. Does the ring or the necklace still work? But again, I don't care about EXP regaining stuff, so what kind of buffs does the food give? I'm still using the turkey dinner and the elvish hot chocolate for food. So I don't know if the new food buff is better than those. And if it is, I'm actually a little salty that they just keep one-upping stat food constantly. Okay. So hazelnut, gnomish dexterity, just gives overcapped dex. Well, I don't think dex is pivotal for me, so this isn't that important for me. The green chocolate It's just water breathing. Oh, I see. So they're like consumable utility items. The attack is kind of useful, but not huge. For me. Now, stamina cap graining is interesting. How's the stacking on Dwarven stamina? Now, the double chocolate. Yeah, this is useless. Intelligence is like barely even noteworthy. HP regen is also useless. I don't know what fiery breath is. They didn't do spa data. And this one, the human one, is interesting. However, minus stamina and well, see, they need heroics. Heroics is what matters. Draken breath weapon. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. How much are they? Like, are these the actual clickies that summon? Yeah. So, like, if I looked for milk chocolate, how much are they going for? Oh, they're like, but wait, are they just one-time usable? Or are they just that cheap? Literally, I can buy one for 25 plat and have it forever. Oh, but see, they're only like 50k. So that's not bad. Probably even less if I actually filter it properly. 52k. They're one-time click, but the box is forever. But it gives you a random one, so you're constantly having to click it and put these in your inventory to actually get the ones you care about. But I mean, it's only 52k. That's dirt. Especially like if I went into... Yeah, it was 15k. Maybe I'll have to buy one just so that... When you say fish, do you mean just click on it every 15 seconds or whatever that reuse was? Let's just call it like experience gauge. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for the catch up. I'm not sure how interested I am in it. I might grab it, but again, just not quite enough to, you know, really be justified for me. So as far as the gauge goes, I'll probably clean it up, but I'm thinking something like this, where it's just stacked below stamina, and I can even do the percentile the same. Let me go find my other gauges. So it's like mana endurance. So player endurance. Oh, it's spaced. Wow, that's a bug. Anyways, we got player endurance here. Let's go ahead and put this here. And let's also split this to the right so that we can compare endurance to experience. And what we're going to do is there's a step for each location. And I want to make sure the gauges are like mana is at... That's interesting. Why is it at 2/8? Is it because the offset's weird? Interesting. So where's health at? Man, this thing is... This is at 2/8 as well. So it must be the gauge offset X. So that's -3. Let's start replicating some of these parameters and also these settings, because basically what we even do is take player endurance and duplicate it, call it PW experience gauge, which I just misspelled. Right? And then we change its screen ID, and then we also change its type if needed. Does it need the type changed? EQ type 4, EQ type 3, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to be stacking stamina on experience. Let's just double check it reloads. Check your parcels, Oddby, by the way. Oh, thanks for that. I'm literally in front of one, so what'd you hook me up with? Oh, thank you. Saved me 50K. Much appreciated. Heart to Oddby. Where are my clickies for food and water? There. Okay, so let's just put that there. And now I can make useless things. Do they sell at least? Or... Holy shit, that gives a fuckload of bullshit. It didn't give me Sim Strike, I don't think. Well, I can see why they wanted the damn mystical tuning when they... Man, that is like the laziest way to fucking give you buffs. Like, you know, on a dev perspective. Anyways, so I broke shit, but I'm going to fix that real quick. It's because the experience gain is still there twice, I guess. Is this the new one? I think it is. No. I think this is the old one. Let's take you out. And just put you in a new window for now. Anyways, but yeah, that's appreciated, dude. I'll mess with that more later. Okay, so we're getting a little closer. You can see it here. I believe the decorator needs to be tweaked a bit. So let's go back to like player endurance for a sec and just look over this. So like, location needs to be 2.8. Size needs to be 102 by 19. Gauge offset X. These three values I'll just put here, and then let's find if those are duplicates anywhere in here. They are not, so let's even just load it with that. Let's see how it looks. So it's starting to look closer to the other ones, you know? Obviously, I haven't fully converted it. But... where is font? I think font is wrong as well. Honestly, okay, I keep messing with this, but what I should just do is take you, paste, do player experience gauge. I thought I did this a second ago, but I don't know. I'm half paying attention right now. This is just sort of autopilot bullshit. And then, where's the 4 versus 3 player stat? It's like EQ type. I thought I had it in here, but I'm not seeing it. So I'll just copy it over. EQ type 4, take this out, put it in here. Okay, we'll see if that loads. So this should overlap endurance perfectly and become black. Yep, that's exactly what we want. So now we're doing an offset, which might just be this. No, it's going to be a Y offset. So what is a Y? Maybe it's the top anchor that changes with each one. Let's go find mana right here and just look at the different values here. So gauge, text, and those are, you know, the identical. The anchors, yeah, it's by 10, it looks like. So if we put this to 59, we may have it perfect. Oh, maybe not. What else is different? That's interesting, because this is 49, this is 39, but it stretched it, which implies that there's another value. Oh, you can see it up above it. So essentially, this is 59, and this is 46. And that should make it offset. There. So now we have the EXP bar below. I don't know why it's showing normal EXP right now, because I would like it to show AA. But we've started, right? We got the new stack broken. Let's now put the label on it. So we have this mana label. We're just going to grab this. We're going to take the PW experience gauge and make a player EXP label %. And I think the EQ type needs to be adjusted again. Player mana EQ type 2 with the screen ID of player mana. This is called mana label EQ type 20. Probably the easiest is to go find the inventory and look for whatever it is on the inventory window. I don't actually have it on my inventory window. Interesting. Let's go look at the other machine and look for like EXP label. Is there one? There's just an EXP gauge. Maybe it's this EXP %. Yeah, my EXP % with an EQ type of 26. That might be enough. Let's test. This gauge that we just added, which is player experience %, needs to be here. And what we're doing is we're also going to need to relocate it. So this is on the position of mana currently. We need to have endurance % right here, and we can look at the delta. So like, see how this is 27 to 37, which means now we're at 47. And that might be it. No, location. This is 50 by 65, then 105, which is what, a 40 delta, which means it'd be 145. Let's see if that's right. Okay, so this should be your primary experience. And it's obviously 0% for me. I'm assuming broken, you just want EXP and then AA experience just as bars. Are you cool with that? So it's just stacked on there. Simple, straightforward. It's kind of implied. It might be a little confusing, but yeah. I don't know if I can control the color. I might be able to. I'm actually curious. Because it'd be nice to make like it orange and then like, you know, some sort of dark color. There is a gauge tint. So like this is currently red 200, 200, 0, right? But the problem is that endurance is also kind of that color. So like if we change this, let's say to like a gold like that, let's see how this looks. So we're going to change this to 153 and reload. You can't really see it though, because we don't have it filled. But this is like a little darker now. And then the next value is the AA experience. So we're just going to replicate this and prefix each element with AA. And then we're going to go to my elements here. Did I mod fatigue label? It looks like I did, but nah, I'm going to ignore that for now. So we're going to copy both of these and paste it. And then we're going to put AA prefixes on them. Okay. And then EXP gauge, what is the AA variant of this called? So AA experience is the label. And it is a type 27. And then the gauge is called alt advancement gauge. And this is literally called alt advanced gauge. It's a screen ID. And what is the EQ type? It's a 5. Okay. So the last thing we need to do is do the anchor offset. I believe the delta we established earlier is like 40 to 50. So 50 to 60. And I also think the 30 went to 40, which means it's now 50. And then we go to the AA experience label. And similarly, we have this delta of like 40 steps per here. And I think there was another value in here. Yeah, the top anchor offset. So 30, 40, 50. I think that's it. Let's see what happens. So this should be, there you go. So now you have base experience and AA experience. And let's go ahead and like, maybe make this even like lighter, like a green or something. Let's see what this looks like. I'm just tossing something in here as a placeholder to see how it feels. Yeah, so, you know, I've kind of changed the tone just a little bit on each one. Maybe I'll make it where it's like yellow, orange, and you know what I mean? Like it kind of tones down the red. Let me think about this. So like if 200 is the base and we just darkened it, that could look good. So instead of like changing, it would also be kind of cool to reserve a color. Like, you know what I mean? AA could just be like a pink. I don't know how good that'll look, but let's see. 176, 5, 159. Let's say like AAs are now a pinkish color. Let's just see how that looks on the bar. Oops, it didn't work. What did I break? 176, 5, 159. Oh, I'm editing the wrong file too. That helps. Here. 176, 5, and 159. Right? I have some errors I got to fix after this too. Yeah. What do you think of that? You see what I mean? Like there's this kind of burgundy pink so that AA is a little bit more prominent just at a glance. And with that in mind, what I can do, and maybe I can even make, because, okay, so we have blue, red, yellow. So maybe even green. You know, give it like a dark green and have that as our base experience gain. Because green is not really associated to anything in you know, bars. And it adds a little bit color. You won't really see it. You're only going to see that sliver change, but you can see how dark green EXP is. So now you have a green bar, which is your EXP leveling, and then you have a pink bar, which is your AA gaining. I don't think that's too bad. So that's it, right? Like that's technically all you need. It looks like it's aligned properly, at least based on the old data. I really should clean up these data points at some point, but can you shoot me a link once it's gotten this all squared up? It's perfect. Yeah. If you're cool with what it is, I'll just fix these errors real quick. I think pet hit points. I have a bunch of UI errors. I think they existed before. But that's weird. Like, I thought I had pet window in here. But it'll be probably available when you wake up, dude. Yeah, dude, it's good to be back. I'm gonna fix these errors and kind of go from there. Maybe do crit sprinkler next. Who else is around? This is pretty late, so I have no idea how everyone is doing at midnight. But my sleeping habits are still fucked after South Africa, is why I'm up in the first place. Oh, look, I removed a bunch of windows. That's why. That doesn't sound right. Let's see where I removed these at. This is the fatigue level bar. Well, maybe what I should do is do a backup real quick. Like, I'll stage this and copy this over into the AA window. And then we can undo all of my changes, right? And then we can take all of my deltas here and we can add it to here instead. So essentially, we've added 4 bars. We just want these on the bottom of the pristine copy. And then all these gauges are just on the bottom. So we can just copy that and put it on the bottom here. Let's see if this cleans it. So now the errors are gone, but also things working. That's what I really wanted. Okay, so now we can go to player window in EXP, paste, and now this delta is a lot cleaner, and so is this one. Cool. Done. So if I push this up, it might just work. I'm going to screenshot this, put it in my Discord channel, Gear Core. I don't know why we went to add preferences. GitHub, Zachary, Gear Core. And in releases, we just have a new release. Just like that. And all ping broken. Cool. So how long's my stream been? We're up to about an hour. Okay. I'm gonna probably stream tomorrow, and I'll continue with Crit Sprinkler next, I think. And I'm gonna try to hit some key milestones and get some candidates out to release. But I think that was a good day. Quick, easy stream. Thank you again, Audrey, for you know, the art. Where can we find your UI? I believe you can do exclamation mark UI. Let's see. Nope, that's the old one. I have to update that. Here's the actual release. But yeah, feel free to check it out. It's a pretty straightforward one. I kind of like how thin the bag windows are. And the key thing is whenever you load this UI, there are 0 errors on the UI errors. See that? It's just clean, which I personally am a fan of. I like that I've cleaned all errors. And I'll be doing more improvements over time. You know, this is a little bit of my love child. And yeah, enjoy it. I think the pet window with like triple pet needs a little bit more testing. That was my next goal, but it can wait. And then there's also, yeah, I have a ton of tools and stuff that need to get updated. But multi-logging support is on the list. Is it even an EQ UI if it doesn't have errors? Yeah. I sat down and what I did is there's a lot of elements that are just ignored and I basically hid them. Like you'll notice my inventory window has, you know, inventory stats, alt currency, you know, things you'd expect. But then it has progression. This is me replacing the evolution window and then just taking all the elements that it requires and hiding it. So you don't see any of that. You just see some sort of like, you know, quick reference. Things like that. You know, I'm basically hiding all of my, you know, the stuff that's required, but I don't care about. And that's why you have no errors. So, which is cool. Anyways, yeah, so I got a bunch of heart shit to click. There's that rock chocolate. 28 minutes. So you have to like constantly eat chocolates and fucking... Wait, it's a 15-minute reuse? What a cancerous design. I have to think about how, if I can automate that somehow. So you can still get this bag. But anyways, I think we're done here. Thanks again for hanging out. Had to trader profit. And to trader profit, yeah. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for hanging. We'll have to... Again, I'll probably do something tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to be earlier tomorrow. We'll see how my sleeping habits are. And looking forward to doing more finishing touches. You're all good. I appreciate you all, and yeah. Thanks again for hanging out. Any last questions before I take off? Tomorrow, I'll probably do a mix of Crit Sprinkler, maybe a pet UI fix, and just basically getting my projects to release candidate state. Alternatively, I'll work on Shin Sparks and just get that buff indicator, because that alone would be massive for a lot of people. Can I put search function in inventory? Not easily. What I could do to do something similar is I could take Shin Spark and finish my code that inspects your inventory and then make a search bar in Shin Sparks where you can type in something and, you know, at least find the existence of an item. I'm pretty sure you also, everything in your bank goes into, like, I can make it where you search your bank and your inventory. Yeah, that could be pretty huge, TGG. That is a possible thing to do. And I don't know how hard it would be. There's some packets that need to be cleaned up in ShinSpark, but it might be a pretty easy implementation. But obviously MQ does that, but I don't like MQ. Like if I can write tooling in products that don't use MQ, but give quality of life, that's huge. You know, just being like what you just described. There is an output system. So like if you do output inventory, this creates a file. Where is it at? One sec. This makes a inventory file, and you'll see as we scroll through this, you have generals and you have bank. So all this data is literally in your client, just sitting there. But if I look for like, you know, glamour, you can see like I have Tismac Glamourstone leggings in general slot 33. And then if we keep searching, it'll be like in bank 2 slot 1, there's a stout bulwark. All this data is getting sent via packets. So I can snag all this and just make it a little easier than having to do the output file and then searching. But if for the interim, if you just want a quick fix TG, is you just run that command of output inventory /output inventory, and then just open up the file in your root EQ directory. And then you can just control F this file. And that basically does the same thing. You know, it's a little more tacky, but it's something. A perk with that style, though, is that you could also, yeah. What I'd probably do for what you're describing, I need to make a fucking server program. You know, make it where like, you know, ShinSpark is cool that it has like the overlay. What I personally think would be cool is just write a little program. It's basically like show EQ. It's headless, meaning it's just a little program that runs and it sniffs packets, and then it collects all that data and then it stores it into a database, and that database is searchable. And then I just give it a little browser. So like you just go to your website, right? There's like a little local hosted web page, and it's just literally a website that's powered by data that you've collected by playing the game. And then you can do like event logs, you know, being able to search and just, you know, like let's say an epic piece. You could also not just search for items that are on hand on all your alts, but also search for items that are that have dropped in the past. You know, like literally you've seen 5, you know, T staffs since you've been playing, you know, because you saw loot events in the group or whatever. That would be cool. So think Gamparse, but like on steroids. So you have a search for active items, or at least items that appear to still be in your inventory, in all of your alts, any character that you've logged in. But then also have a search for like events, you know, like was there ever an item that you looted? You know, it could, that would be pretty cool to have like an intense database of data collection. So anyways, feature creeping is never a problem for me. But the idea of not having to require the overlay could be nice. Just having a tool that just sort of works passively. And that's honestly how DPS reports should work too. Instead of like real-time logging, it'd be nice just to be able to go and recap and look at log events. But anyways, I digress. All right, guys, I'm hopping off. Thank you again for hanging out. You all are appreciated. Yeah, take care, guys.